Hello, this is Conscious TV and my name is Renate McNay, and today our guest is Rupert Spira. Hello Rupert.
Hello.
And we are talking about non-duality. So Rupert, I would like to start by telling you a little story with what happened to me after I was reading your book 2 days ago. So I was lying in bed and I started reading your book, and I found it incredibly beautiful, the way you expressed certain things and what you said, and certain things which impressed me most I was reading loud out to my husband. And then around 11 o'clock I switched the light off and I fell asleep. At 1 o'clock, approximately 1, I woke up and I was wide awake. And this one sentence from your book just was in front of me, and it said, I, consciousness, reading these words and hearing the words. And in this moment, this sentence became like a gate. I went through this gate, and on the other side, time and space collapsed. And I was gone. And there was only experiencing was experiencing itself.
Yes.
That was the, I only can express it like that. Consciousness was experiencing itself. And it was the most beautiful dance. I mean, I was lying in bed and I still had the feeling I was dancing. Everything was luminous.
Yes.
And it was just so amazing and so beautiful, and there was nothing else. And the funny thing was, what happened was, you said earlier, when in the interview with my husband, you felt at home at one point. Yes. And I had the feeling, finally, I am in my own shoes.
Yes. Yes.
And I don't know why shoes came up. You know, I like shoes, and I have about 10 pair of shoes. Finally, I'm in my shoes.
Yes.
I am at home.
Yes, perfect.
And it went on, and at the same time, at a certain time, my mind came in, another part, the part which you call is pretending, who doesn't know. Said, you have to sleep, you have to sleep, you have to get up tomorrow. But, you know, I just couldn't care less.
Yes.
And I was just on this ride, and
yes.
It was amazing.
Yes. That's a beautiful expression.
Yeah.
Of this moment when we recognize ourselves.
Yes.
We, being consciousness recognizes itself.
Right.
And what you describe is a very beautiful description of what took place, that you
yes.
recognized yourself. The only thing I would comment, and I don't really want to touch your description because it was very, very heartfelt and beautiful. But at one stage, you said, I went through a door.
A gate, yes.
A gate.
Which was your sentence.
Yes, yes.
Yeah?
So all I would say to that is that that's a metaphor for what happened.
Yes.
But the reason I just want to comment on that is that implicit in that sentence is an entity that somehow passes through an experience and then experiences something else. There's no entity. The I is not an entity that's in here that passes through a gate and suddenly experiences. It's always consciousness. Consciousness sometimes pretending to be a separate entity.
Right.
And in this case, reading these words relieved consciousness of the cramp of self-identification, of body. And so this expansion, which you experienced as going through. But the reason I just pick up on that is that, although of course I understand it was this is an interpretation that the mind brings to bear on your experience, but the interpretation suggests that there was an entity that went through an experience and then experienced something else. And I think it would be a more accurate metaphor to say that the consciousness that was present at 11 o'clock while you were reading, exactly the same consciousness, let go of its exclusive identification with a body and a mind and experienced itself as it is, unlimited. And so there's this feeling of elation, expansion, because it's been used to being cramped into a body, and suddenly it opens up, it's relieved of that, the cramp of being a person.
Yes.
And it feels itself to be light, and all the words you use, light and expanded and happy, free, at ease. In my own shoes, I know exactly what you mean. It's very natural. It comes sometimes, to begin with a feeling of elation, but that's only in contrast to the previous feeling, which was one of cramp, self-contraction. In fact, the more often we return to ourselves, the more often consciousness returns to itself, the more natural it becomes. It doesn't always come as elation, as ecstasy. It doesn't come with any bright lights attached to it. It's just the natural feeling of being, as you say, in your own shoes, at ease, without problems.
Yeah, that's interesting what you just said, because I had, over the last 20 years, many, many beautiful experiences. So I have somewhere a concept how it ought to look like when we are there. Yeah, it comes with a lot of light and explosions and things. Yes. And I feel that prevents me from seeing it actually in my ordinary life. Yeah, but it's always there, but because the light is not there, the explosion is there, is not there, I don't appreciate it.
Yes. It's true that if we have, first of all, if we've had luminous experiences in the past that then end, this creates some nostalgia, some longing to go back to that place that we knew, that we know and love. And you're right in saying that this idea that what we're looking for is an experience, an objective experience that came once and then left. That this is a barrier, it prevents us. But what we then tend to do is to say, that prevents me from having that experience now. So in some sense, it's true. But even when we say, that prevents me from having the experience now, there is still something in that formulation that truly prevents us from having the experience. Because in that formulation, I want to have that experience now, there is the implication that there is something objective to be experienced. That what we're looking for is a special experience, is something extraordinary, has some objective element to it, that it's not just this scene here, but it's something extraordinary in the objective realm, either in the realm of mind or in the realm of the body. But that in itself is a misunderstanding.